Hello and welcome to Consulting Conversations with Kris and Katie. I am Katie, the founder of Elevate Online, joined today by Kris, the founder of Evergreen Leadership, and together we created Leap to help others start and grow their consulting businesses swiftly, smartly, and with support. Today, we're talking about two things that individuals can face as they start their consulting business, or even as they start to plan how it is that they can go out on their own. And they're two big things, and we want you to know you are not alone and you can get through them. So, Kris, what is this first thing that really can trip people up as they're thinking about building their business?
Yeah, it's that pitfall. It's a pitfall of perfectionism. And it's that idea that you're afraid to start something because it's not going to be perfect at the beginning, or you start it, but you still need to do a little bit of tweaking here, and this isn't quite right. And so you get in these like unending cycles of continuing to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it, or just feeling like you're not good enough to do it. And there's something that needs to happen. And I think it's just at some point where you put yourself out and you realize what you did was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect, and nobody even noticed. Right? On these videos, sometimes it's not perfect, but we say it's good enough. So that doesn't mean you're putting out sloppy work or that you're going to step into it, but it's that idea of if you're going to wait for everything to be perfect, the perfect time in your life, have the perfect amount of money in the bank, have everybody around you cheering for you, know exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, you will never get started because it's messy. And so that idea of it doesn't have to be perfect, just get it to good enough and step into it and go forward.
And we love tweaking at Leap, right? We love being like, put the best thing that you can out there. And if it's not perfect, you're going to figure it out and you're going to be able to continue to tweak until it is right where you want it to be.
Yeah, that idea of your next best step. And that leads us to the second one, which Katie, you're going to talk into. And I know it's about stepping out, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So the second thing that kind of can stop people altogether is resistance or fear. And resistance is that feeling that comes up anytime that you are going to do something big and you just feel almost like you pull back from it because you're like, can I do this? Should I do this? Is this the right thing? It accompanies fear sometimes. And it's those thoughts that I think can sometimes start to spiral and keep you back from moving forward, from taking the next step. The best way I can illustrate this is I was out hiking in Grand Teton National Park, actually. We came down to this lake and there's this big rock there that a bunch of people had gathered around to jump off of. And so several people had jumped off of it. They had a great time. It was ice cold, so they were hooting and hollering once they hit the water. And there was a young woman who wanted to jump off this rock. Her friends did it before her. And she would go up and run to the ledge and stop and hold back. And she did it 2 or 3 times, despite having people cheer her on. And it was almost terrifying watching her, right? Because you do need to get a fair amount of air to clear the rock and to be safe and do it as the other people had. But you could just see that fear kick in, that resistance kick in once she got to the ledge because she was scared. And eventually she did jump off of it, which I am very proud of her for doing. I don't know who she was, but it just reminded me of when we are starting our businesses and starting something big, and it can look like such a huge drop to get into the water. But, you want to look before you leap, right? You want to see that other people have done it and then take the best step that you possibly can in order to make it happen, in order to truly get the air you need to do it well. And so despite the fear, I think people are still able to jump forward, but you do need to know, like, what is the step that you can take to kind of push through this resistance, and also honoring the fact that this is something that happens, I think, to everybody who's doing something big, despite how excited they might be about doing it.
Which really, I love the story because it's about leaping, and that's her name, right? That's
right.
What, as you and I talked about, how do we help other people make this leap? There is that feeling of having to step out into a void. And the thing that we knew is that there were some things we could do to help people step into that void with more confidence, to be more successful as they stepped out, to get their business up and going quickly. And so we have, like, over the last 4 or 5 years, put together lots of really good resources. We're excited about the Consulting Business Incubators that's coming up, but you can learn about lots of good things that can help you make the best lead here.